80, I'll give you a demo of Aerospike Kafka source connector, job of which is to transmit data from Aerospike to Kafka. Now we can do this by writing a piece of code, but what that would require a lot of time, testing, and to build a reliable system like that. So what we can do is we can use a Kafka connector for that. Which provides the same capability with high quality, reliability, and fault tolerance. And that's the reason we will be using Kafka source connector to do that. We'll install Kafka first. I will be using a Ubuntu system hosted by DigitalOcean. For the same, let's open the console by clicking here. So I have already configured my SSH key. Okay, so our terminal is up. What we'll do is we'll start by downloading Kafka and installing it in a path. So I've already written a command for that. But before Kafka, we'll have to install our JDK first, because that is a prerequisite for Kafka. And we can check, considering this is our newly procured Ubuntu server, we won't be having Java here. As you can see, it's not there. So let's just install it by running this command. After the time it's downloading, I'll show you this command. So basically in this command what we are doing is we'll be fetching our Kafka from Apache, and further we'll be unzipping it and then storing it in a location opt. Okay, so it's look like it's installing Java. Okay, it's done. Now let's check it out by the command. Yes, we got our Java 11 up in here. Now let's run this command, by which we will basically download Kafka, and as you can see, Kafka is downloaded and is unzipped here in this location. Now we will create our services basically. So we'll move to start this Kafka. We'll have to run these two commands basically. One is this zookeeper service, and other is Kafka server start.s. We'll be using zookeeper for clustering. So let's start with let's copy this. Let's create a file by moving to this location. So this is where generally all our service files are there. Okay, we are here. As you can see, there are certain files already present. We'll create one zookeeper. It's created. Let's just copy, or well, so basically to explain this, it tells what is the unit, what is the service basically, what is the command to run, execute, start and stop. So these are the basic things required for writing a service. So we have written it, copied it, and let's save it. Now let's create a Kafka service as well. Okay, it's created. Let's just copy Kafka. Kafka would need a zookeeper, so that's the reason you can see here in requires we have zookeeper.service, and also Java. So Java's home is the Java we have installed is by default installed in this directory only. I've checked that beforehand. Okay, so both of the services created. Now simply we'll have to enable this. So what we'll use? We will use systemctl command. Let's enable Zookeeper first. Okay, symlink is created. Now let's just start it. Let's just check the status whether Zookeeper is started successfully or not. If there's some error, we'll have to fix it. Okay, it's running. Cool. Now we'll have to do the same for, since Zookeeper is running and it was a prerequisite for Kafka, we'll start by running Kafka now. To enable Kafka. Okay. Now let's, after creating symlink, let's just start. Okay, let's just check the status of Kafka. Okay, so Kafka is up and running. So what we can do is, let's just check whether or we can create a topic or not by this simple command. Okay, so since Kafka is not on this location, we'll have to move to Kafka's location. Kafka's installed here. Now we can run this command. Though this command, what it will do is create a topic flat JSON for you. Okay, so create a topic. So our Kafka is up and running on the server. We'll now install Aerospike. So I have moved to Aerospike download page. Here you can see we have Aerospike Server Enterprise Edition and Aerospike Server Community Edition. For Aerospike Kafka source connector, it's already mentioned ki it works only on Enterprise Edition. As you can see here, you'll have to configure an XDR and only Enterprise Edition supports that. Okay. So for other purpose, you can basically have Server Community Edition, and to install Community, you can basically move to this link, GitHub, and you can further download. You'll have to download Aerospike Server and AQL separately. AQL is basically, Aerospike Tools is basically tools to query Aerospike DB, etc. We'll just download from here. It will bundle the tools along with the server. Okay, so for your convenience, I have already downloaded it. Let me show you here. And as you can see, Aerospike Server Enterprise along with the tools, and I've downloaded it for Ubuntu server because I'm using Ubuntu server procured from DigitalOcean. Now, so this is my server. Now what I'll do is I'll just copy this file to the server. For that, I'll use CyberDuck. And this is the IP provided. I'll copy this IP so as to connect to the server. Let's just open a connection. Okay, and since we are transferring file, I've copied the IP root, and I've already configured my SSH key, so I'm copying that here and I'm trying to connect that to the server. As you can see, I'm connected to the server. I'll just create a folder here. Let's say Aero. It's created. I'll copy my this installed server here in Aero folder. So I've copied. It's uploading. As you can see now, it's uploading. It will take some time. Meanwhile, these are the commands to manage. Let me just show you the commands which we'll use after the download is completed. So after Aerospike download is completed, you can use systemctl and command for starting the Aerospike and to getting the status, systemctl, and you can also start or restart. This will all be configured beforehand. And to get any logs, you can use journalctl. So these are the basic commands which Aerospike uses as well. Okay, as you can see, upload is completed. Let's start. Let me go to the server. I'll open the console from here. Okay, so let's check the Aero folder out. Yes, it's downloaded. Now we'll run the command. You can basically follow this along. Here you can see how this is being done on Ubuntu, how Aerospike is installed on Ubuntu. I'll make sure this command, this is linked in the supporting document provided. So this is the server. Just okay. So as you can see, a DAB file is extracted for tools also and for enterprise server also. So both the files are there. And so let's install the Aerospike by this command. As you can see, it started unpacking the server and tools both, and both of them is unpacked and set up. Let's start. Now we can use the systemctl command. We'll just go to start Aerospike. We'll just check the status of the same. Okay, so it's active and running. Now I will check whether our tools is installed successfully or not. As you can see, our tools is installed as well since AQL is running. Now we'll check the namespaces. Okay, cool. So our namespaces is also there. By default, test and bar comes. You can change it in the configuration file. Okay, so let's just exit. So we have successfully installed Aerospike. Now we'll proceed with installing Aerospike Kafka source connector. So we'll move to download page. So this is the link for Kafka source connector, and as you can see, you can download it by going to the download section here, and you'll get this option of Aerospike Kafka Outbound, and you can, depending on your system, you can, since I'm working on Ubuntu, I have already downloaded this one. So let's show you that. So as you can see here, I have downloaded DEB file for Aerospike Kafka Outbound. Now what I'll do is I'll copy this in the Ubuntu. So I'm using DigitalOcean's Ubuntu server, and I'll connect to this IP, and I'll copy my DEB file here. So I'll use CyberDuck for that. Let's open a connection, SFTP. Let's write that down. I've already configured my SHS. I'll select that, connecting. As you can see, we have connected. So let's create one more folder. write this Aero Kafka connect. Okay, so I've created. Let's just copy this file here. So this is my DAB file. Let's just copy, let's just copy here, allow it, and as you can see the uploaders has started. It will take few seconds and it will be uploaded. Meanwhile, let's open the console. So we can open the console of this server from here in DigitalOcean. I've opened that. It's connected to my droplet. It's connected, and it's still downloading. We'll have to wait for this download. Meanwhile, I'll show you the command we'll have to run after this is completed. Once this is downloaded, we'll have to basically run this dpkgi command to basically untar and basically install it in this particular location. It will take 4 more seconds. Okay, so it's done. Let's just see. Okay, let's just check that out. Yes, it's there. Now let's run the command. Okay, so it's unpacked, and let's just proceed with other commands that we have to run. As you can see, we'll have to first enable Kafka Outbound and then we'll start. Oh, meanwhile, you can check you'll have to configure the properties in this Aerospike Kafka Outbound file. Okay, so we'll configure this property here. Here basically we'll configure the topic from which data will come. So let's go to the server. Oh, that's the reason it's taking time. Sorry for the slowness. Okay, so as you can see, here is the detail. So the format which is selected is flat JSON. So we'll getting the flat JSON of all the bins, and you will soon see how that format looks like. Metadata key is metadata. So if you do not have this, then you will not have the metadata information. Metadata contains basically this information about namespace, set, the primary key, etc. Routing means ki which topic you have to basically send it to. Static means a static topic is being defined and that will be used. We created a topic. This was the topic which we created earlier. We will just make sure that topic is updated here, and a topic was topic flat JSON. This was the topic which we created while installing Kafka. So let's just update that here. And our bootstrap server location is same only. That is because in the same Ubuntu server I've installed Kafka as well and Aerospike both. So let's keep that as localhost only. I have updated the name and let's just save it. Also, one more thing which is required here is let me show you that. So basically you'll have to set your data, cross data replication should be enabled for this change. Otherwise, whenever a change notification, so basically whenever there is change in Aerospike DB or Kafka source, Aerospike Kafka source connector will publish a message into Kafka queue. So for that, XDR should be switched on, and that you can do using basically change notification configure parameters can be configured similar to this. Here in the link you can see you can configure XDR in the file of Aerospike configuration file, and you can say key what is the address of your Kafka, what is the namespace for which whenever there is a change this Kafka should be notified. Okay, so let's do that. So I've already copied, let's copy this and update this here in the Aerospike config. So let's just first open this file. Okay, so as you can see your XDR is not here. So what we will do is we will just make sure it's there now. Let's just copy it. Okay, so our Kafka port is at Kafka is installed at the local host only. That's the reason 127.0.01 is there. Okay, and the namespace is test, which will basically notify this topic. Let's just save it. After saving this, you'll have to restart your Kafka. So we'll just reset. Sorry. Sorry. Actually system is running a bit slow. That's the reason I'm having issues. Okay. Sorry for the spelling mistake. The reason why I copy the commands beforehand. So let's just check the status of the same. Okay, so it's active up and running. Now we will just start our source connector. Okay, sorry. Let's just check the status of same, it's running or not. It's up and running. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just insert one in our namespace test, and we'll hear the topic. Let's just hear the topic. So to hear the topic, you can basically use this command. Okay, let's just go to first our Kafka location. So Kafka is installed here, and let's just use a terminal to listen to Kafka queue. It's up now. What we'll do is we'll insert. Let's use an insert command. This is the insert command. Okay, one record is affected. Let's check that out. Okay, yes, we have published successfully using our connector or source connector, and this is the data which we have received. Let's check that out. what is the data. So as you can see, these A and B are the bins. So we had given two bins ABC 1 2 3, and this was the primary key. The primary key which came was in user key. You can remove this metadata as well by doing the configuration. You can change the formatting also. So the format which is available is basically mentioned here in format section. You can go ahead and check that out. You can have Avro Kafka. We have used flat JSON. You can use Avro Kafka, Avro JSON message pack, etc. So what we did was uh, we successfully, whenever there's a change in an Aerospike collection, we have successfully published that in a Kafka topic. Okay.